Welcome back, Econ Studs. Part 2 of supply and demand, off to supply. Whereas demand was the price that people were going to pay for any quantity of a good or service, the supply is on the business side. So the idea is the quantity of a good or service businesses are willing to sell at any given price. Where the law of demand was as the price goes up, the quantity demanded goes down, supply is going to be the opposite. As the price increases, the quantity supplied will increase too. This is known as our law of supply, which should make sense. As a business, the higher the price that you can get for your product, the more you're willing to sell. The lower the price you get for your product, the less you want to sell of it. So I went ahead and drew a supply schedule and a supply curve, and in honor of fall, we're looking at pumpkins. I get a price, $1, $5, $10, and the quantity I'm willing to sell at the pumpkin patch. If I'm only charging if I only get $1 for the price to sell pumpkins, I'll sell 10. $5, I'll sell 50. $10 making money now, I'm willing to produce 100 pumpkins. So I went and draw this graph. Again, price on the vertical axis, quantity on the horizontal axis, and I have a supply curve. Notice that it is upward sloping compared to the demand curve. That is downward sloping. As price goes up, the quantity goes up, which is the law of supply. Also similar to demand, what causes a movement along the supply curve is a change in price. So if I want to sell a higher quantity of pumpkins, I better be getting a higher price to do so. Let's say the price went from $1 to $5. The quantity I produced is now a lot higher. But the question still remains, how do I sell more pumpkins overall? What would cause that supply curve to shift to the left or to the right? Now, an important point when we're talking about these econ graphs, please do not say up or down, like the supply curve went up, supply curve went down. Think of it as left and right. In this case, which supply curve is larger, S2 or S1? It's S1. How do I know that? Because at any given price, the quantity I'm willing to sell is higher on S1, which is a shift to the right. A shift to the left, which was S2, is less. Left is less. Important point. Please don't say up and down. Left and right. Supply curve shifts right. We've increased supply. Supply curve shifts left. We've decreased supply. Same for demand. Demand curve shifts right. We've increased demand. Demand curve shifts left. We've decreased demand. All right. That point aside, let's then look at what causes the supply curve to shift. And there are 4 things that cause this to shift. The first is input prices. Price of materials increases, supply will decrease. Example on this. Price of steel goes up, supply of cars goes down. If it's more expensive for the seller to make, they're going to be supplying less at every price point. The second one is number of sellers. More sellers in the market. Guess what? You're going to have more supply. The third one is expectations. If you, let's say it's Black Friday, the day after Thanksgiving, and you expect lots of people out doing Christmas shopping, are you going to charge a lower price then or a higher price then? It's expectations again. Expectations about when people will buy. Or prices in the market. Prices in the market that you can get. And you'll change your supply as a result. And the last one is technology. Let me pull this up here. If a company increases productivity because of a new tool, then supply is going up. So in the demand video, I gave you IP10. In supply, my acronym that I focus on for these 4 that I need to know that causes supply curve shift is INET. Input prices, number of sellers, expectations, and technology. All right, when in doubt, graph it out.